For a family that was threatened by a critical diagnosis, the Pointers ended up thriving. It took a lot of saving money and jumping through bureaucratic hoops, but even that wasn't enough. What they needed was love, and they had it in abundance. However, after Monica and Josh Pointer adopted a boy from Guangzhou, China, they turned heads when neighbors saw that he had a strikingly similar trait to their biological son, Tag. Adopting a child is one of the hardest things a couple could choose to do, but there are countless rewards to make up for the challenge. For one couple in Bowling Green, Kentucky, what they faced was far more complicated than usual. There are so many risks involved in having kids. Beyond finances and fertility, there are a slew of genetic risks that you can't necessarily anticipate. But with perseverance, most things become possible. Monica and Josh learned that from their first days of parenthood. Monica and Josh's world revolved around their son, Tag. He's 6 years old and has a severe blood condition called hemophilia type A. Sadly for Tag, it causes sudden bleeding without any notice and is a constant source of danger. One day, Monica and Josh read in a magazine about two siblings who had hemophilia type A. Their condition didn't improve, but having each other proved to be the best medicine. That got the Kentucky couple thinking. It's one thing for someone to get sick with a fleeting disease, but lifelong conditions alter the course and culture of an entire family. Monica and Josh were tasked with not only caring for Tag's health, but also setting him up for a future of care and friendship. Convinced that Tag could use a brother or sister, Monica and Josh began looking for Tag's sibling. Thanks to an adoption agency, a Chinese boy named Trey came miraculously into their lives. Of course, the Pointers had to navigate through quite a bit of red tape before bringing Trey into their home. Before they could qualify, Monica and Josh had to take a foster-to-adopt class and work closely with Hand International Adoptions, a private agency coordinating with China. The time and financial costs were considerable, but they plowed straight ahead. Even though they hadn't met yet, Trey, Monica, and Josh were immediately drawn to him after seeing his photo in April 2019. At that moment, it was love at first sight. Granted, there were some difficulties with his situation. Trey suffered from some health complications. Though the American couple saw these as a benefit, Josh credited Trey's smile with moving forward. He had difficulty walking, but he had the biggest smile plastered on his face, Pointer said. Next stop, China. Monica, Josh, and Tag soon picked up and headed to Guangzhou, China, to meet Trey. There were so many hugs upon first sight, and the family knew it was meant to be. That's when the parents revealed to Tag why Trey was so special. He had the same type of hemophilia as Tag. By the time the family arrived in Guangzhou, Josh had an active bleed due to his disease. They had no choice but to wait things out and hope for the best. On top of that, Trey had trouble walking and spent most of his waking hours in a wheelchair. The doctors said the chances of that changing might be grim, but the Pointers were excited to try. No matter what, he'd be a part of their family. They knew they were lucky to have him. Only 10 years ago, this sort of thing was forbidden. Children with hemophilia were often forced to stay in orphanages due to the lack of resources. The practice isn't going anywhere, but Pointers had a lot to learn. Trey had been abandoned as a child, but he had an infectious spirit that soared above all the pain, and it shows in his smile and attitude from day one. Soon enough, there was a big smile on Tag's face as well. One of Tag and Trey's favorite activities is building Legos together. Just as the parents hoped they could relate to each other's health issues, which made life less lonely and filled with more joy, there was some good news on the horizon too. Now, Trey is off his wheelchair and walking on his own. He's also receiving consistent care and is the healthiest he's ever been. The situation was better than either parent could have hoped, especially with some new medical developments. A limited supply of an effective hemophilia treatment hit the market, and Tag and Trey were able to start it at the same time. As much as Tag loves having a new brother, Trey is just as much of a joy to his new parents. The whole family grew into one another, and the unit of four changed forever. When asked to describe what Trey has meant to the Pointers, Josh replied, "It's hard to put into words what he's meant to this family. And we don't blame him. Some things are truly beyond words." He also gave due credit to those who helped Trey make the trip across the Pacific.